Hey everybody, welcome into the stream. It's Wednesday, 2 days before the launch of checkpoint number 2. So we have lots of small tasks. Is there anything else that I need to write down here? I've got something on the list. Yeah, 2 words, bricklaying, just to provide maximum value. I should really make a command about that. Take care of all these issues, set up the page again, make the skill tree look better. Yeah, lots of small things. It's hard to feel like any of these are that important, but they all add up. The way I look at it is anything you know is a problem in the game, players have a chance of finding. And if a player finds it, it could either degrade their experience or just make it so that when they do give feedback, they remember those things and not the other things. So I want to uncover new feedback. It's 2 days before the launch of Skeleseller checkpoint number 2. There are a bunch of small tasks to complete preparation for the launch. Today is mostly about bricklaying, which is just feeling like each brick we add is making progress, since none of the tasks are super impactful on their own, except for one, which is fixing a crash that's currently happening on Mac, and that's probably what we should start with. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, so I want to take care of all of these issues, but let's start with this. Figure out why I couldn't export for Mac. I looked this up yesterday as I was falling asleep, and I think I found the issue, but it's hard to say. Where did the builds even go? Probably in here somewhere. Game out. Yeah, this. So if I try launching this, we get an error. This error. There we go. So now let's copy the error. Data game Mac OS ARM64 directory exists and contains the .NET assemblies. And I guess it starts with unable to find the directory. Okay. So yeah, when I looked this up, I think they said this was some Godot issue. Godot 4.3 beta can't export to Mac. Also, that's interesting. Godot 4.3 will fix web builds, because maybe I just don't need to worry about this right now. Oh, that's not the fix they're talking about? Okay, well, that doesn't really matter, but I guess that would have helped. Let's check GitHub. I just found this yesterday. macOS beta.net. Crash opening any project on... No, this is 2022. Wait a sec. Oh, this is 4.0. Okay. It was something like their export templates and they're not set up correctly. I don't know. Let's take a look in the editor itself. Maybe I should try updating Godot first. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with this. I think I looked through this last time as well. I didn't see anything. What version of Godot are we on? 4.3 beta 2. And what are they up to? Where are their... Oh, hey, exporttemplates.net. No, that just started a download. I don't want that. I thought it would be something else. All right, preview builds. 4.3 beta 3. That's what I'm on, right? Yeah, no, I'm on beta 2. Maybe this fixed it. Build system. Maybe we should search for Mac. There's an export thing, and I skipped over it. Fix web export state for remote debug. Generate ARM64 simulator library. Huh. Yeah, I don't see the issue being fixed. Let me export this again and just see, is there, I don't know, if I just click export project, delete this. Oh, an empty directory. And that doesn't count as an empty directory. Okay. Yeah, let's delete it from here. Let's delete this. And you know what? I'll just choose export with debug. Who cares? I don't think it's going to run no matter what. I think it's just not exporting something that needs to be in there. And this is it. This is the only thing I really have control. It failed to build. That's different. They're all these things. Type or namespace name chicken soft cannot be found. Okay, I guess we can't build a debug project then and export it. Because then we get all the test stuff. Same error, but for Android. What happened to that browser? There we go. Okay, something weird is going on here. I'll just wait for it. It just says code signing failed, which I mean, I know code signing failed. That's to be expected. Yeah, it sounds like a Godot issue, because even in whatever thread I found yesterday, it sounded like, oh yeah, we're just doing something wrong. I need to fix up a Python script. But then oh, you found it. Yeah, I wonder if this is the one I was thinking of. Let me see if the names ring a bell here. So far, no. No, it's the same person who commented on the other one. I recognize these names from a different issue. So arm64.net commented 2 days ago. Fixed by this. Is this it? Could I download like a bleeding edge version? This is 7 hours ago. Wow. So what do I do in order to, I must be able to build Godot myself, right? I think that's what I need to do. Blub, thanks for finding this. This is definitely the issue. And it was fixed. And now we just need to figure out how to incorporate the fix. No nightly builds. I don't think I saw it. I just see this 4.3-beta 3. Yeah. I don't know how hard it would even be to build it. Probably hard. And their releases are what? July 9th. And it's been 15 days. So I don't think there's any counting on a new one being available. Do they have... Yeah, they're releasing them like once a month, it looks like. Yes, I would need to build it myself, I guess. You can download in their actions, apparently. Well, really? Oh, man, that's awesome. All right. (4.3-RC). Build and test Godot. All right, I got to figure out how to do this. But first, let's copy this. Versions. I don't have anything written about versions. There are preview versions released on the official Godot site. But if you need a nightly version, you'll have to dip into their GitHub actions. Okay, well, thank you both. There we go. And now let's figure out how to actually download this thing. So is there anything? I mean, I think it'd be that. Where'd it go? This one. I think it would be this one. Linux. This is all Linux stuff. Melmsy, thanks for resubbing. I was probably going to reach out to you soon about a potential interview, but the interview wouldn't be soon. The interview would probably be in like September, but I'm hoping to reach out next week maybe, which I guess I'm technically telling you now. I guess you already said yes a while ago, but I'll tell you more details. Yeah. But thanks for the resub. Scroll down, should be under artifacts. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. Just scroll down to artifacts on a page like this. Okay, so Mac. There's template. And then there's the editor. I know I need the editor, obviously, but I wonder if the template is the export template or if I have that already and I'm going to download this. This might not even be the mono editor. Man, there's a bunch of things we potentially need to do with this. Hey, yo. Yo, I had something to say to you. Oh, yeah. I got someone else on board with a fake birthday thing. And their fake birthday just came up yesterday. Or 2 days ago or something. All right, what's in here? Godot, macOS Editor, Universal. This is not what I want. I need the mono version. I got to figure that out. I also don't even know how you'd open this. Hey, Ramu. Perhaps it was. Artifacts produced during runtime. They might do something that then goes and signs this or whatever. That's an incredibly expensive hello. Welcome back, Broken Crown. Thank you too for resubbing. Oh man, what do I do? They might have something that does all the mono stuff, or maybe a certain action that runs, like a signing action or something. Man, hey McNuggets. Yeah, build macOS. Template and editor. Hey, Crows. What am I searching for? So, hang on a second. Let me ban this person. Yeah. So, there's a problem where I can't export on Mac, and this problem was fixed, but it was fixed like 7 hours ago. So I'm trying to find a nightly version or something I can use through their GitHub, but I don't know. There are only these two things: macOS Editor and macOS Template. I guess I'll download the template too. But I don't know how to run what I get, and I don't even think what I'm getting is what I need. What is the template? .universal files. I've never even seen this. So on Friday, I'll be able to download off of it. Yeah. Hey, Phil. Right on time, Phil. How do you run one of these? .command. Home downloads. Is this what is this? It's not a directory or else I would know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Building a universal macOS binary. This maybe? What is a .universal file? I would assume it's something that has executable information for the Intel and ARM Macs, but I don't know how you use this. Why is there like no information on this? Is this just something Godot came up with as a convention? Huh. Okay, let's search for this. Maybe I can put it in the execution folder. I mean, like maybe if I go to applications and search for Godot, show contents, there'll be something in here. There's an actual executable here called Godot. I don't think they have. What do I do with this? Compiling for Mac OS. Okay, they mentioned this. To support both architectures in a single universal 2 binary, run the above 2 commands, and then use this to bundle them together. If all goes well, resulting binary executable will be placed in bin subdirectory. Okay, I think I need to follow these instructions. Yeah, export's going smoothly. Hey, Anton. I've never seen you use ChatGPT. Why? If you've never seen me use it and I've been effective, then that's the answer, right? Is that I don't need to use it, apparently. But I do use Copilot. Selling homebrew, all special command line tools for Xcode. I think we need to run this. Start a terminal, go to the root directory of the engine source code. To compile for Intel-powered Macs, use this. To compile for ARM-powered Macs, do this. Support both architectures, run both. The thing is, we have this output already. So now what? To create an app, you need to use the template located. Oh, I see. So we got the template. We got the universal thing. Then we need to do these things. Wow, this is going to be obnoxious. Ooh. Their preview builds. If you need a nightly version, you have to dip in their GitHub. Just scroll down artifacts on this page. At least on Mac OS, those artifacts aren't enough to just double click a binary. You have to follow these steps. Okay, well, let's start at the beginning. Do we need this sconce tool? I'm not sure. Let's wait until it says that we need it. And let's start with the instruction that we know we need to start with this one. So to create an app, you need to use a template located here. Typically, you do this stuff. There's a code sign thing, but I won't be able to code sign anything. I don't have any certificates. Mac OS tools.app. Where in the world is that? Godot app contents. Yeah, I need that Mac OS tools.app. Where's that? I might need to download the, yeah, I guess I need to download Godot. Oh, it's their build system? Wow. Oh, maybe you weren't italicizing there in your in your message. Maybe it's just the build system they use. I think I downloaded Godot somewhere. I think it's in here. Yeah, this must be it. Get remote -v. No, this is my fork of it though. I guess we could just change the remote. Alternatively, I could just pull from origin, right? Already up to date. How's that possible? It's not possible. Sync fork. There. Now I can pull. Okay, so how do we ensure that I'm actually working with something that has the fix? Let's go find what the fix is and make sure we have those lines of code. Fixed by this, changes. Okay, so let's search for this line. There's a parenthesis. Oh, that's all over the place. All right, let's tack on some more stuff then. All right. Yep. All right, so it's in a few places, and this one's supposed to be project settings.cpp. Let's open that up. And 1494. Yeah, this looks correct. Looks like I have the new code. Okay, good. Only one more day. Well, only, I guess, one more full day between now and launch, if that's what you mean. But yeah, it's going to be on Friday. How many critical bugs left to fix? Just one, and it's this one, and it's that we can't export on Mac. But it was a Godot bug, not a me bug. All right, so we have the up-to-date code, which means we probably can now run this step, misc/dist. Do we have that? misc dist macOS template macOS tools. Yeah, there it is, macOS tools. Okay, well, I guess let's go make another directory. Make dir build Godot. We're gonna copy this over there, macOS tools.app. No such file or directory, misc/dist. Oh, it's a directory, cp-r. All right, good, we got that. Now what do we need? It said copy it to ./godot.app. All right, make dir godot.app. Oh wait, oh. I see, we just renamed that. Move macOS to godot.app. Okay, then copy this. Then copy this. This comes from downloads. Downloads / that. Cool. Okay. Cannot read entitlement data. Error in trying to sandbox with code sign command. What do I... Cannot read entitlement data. Wait a sec. This macOS editor entitlements. Okay, wait. It might not be able to find this file. Oh, maybe this isn't formed correctly then? Where did it get put into this? Wait a second. I can't do this from here. I see. Okay. So this is trying to find it from the wrong path. Yeah. We don't have that path. Got it. I need to get it from here. Then what? Mac OS? Yeah, there it is. Editor entitlements. Okay, so let's cd into there, get the directory, and then paste that here. Aha! We've done it. Okay, I'm going to just make a dedicated section on this because this is a little ridiculous. Building for Mac OS. All right, there are preview versions, but if you need a nightly version, you'll have to dip into their GitHub Actions. However, there are several. Yeah, however, you can't just double click those artifacts to run them. You still have to go through a bunch of build steps. So step 1, scroll down to artifacts on a page like this. Step 2, follow these steps. For my Google account code, can you try for me this? What is this? Too many failed attempts unavailable because of too many failed attempts. Try again in a few hours. Can I try for you? I don't think I'm going to be able to try something for you if you mean like logging in as you. Although I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about. But I think just maybe try again in a few hours like it says. But hey, T. So these steps somehow got turned out of a link. How did that happen? So follow these steps. You'll need the Godot repo. Make sure it has whatever fix you're trying to incorporate by searching through the code on your machine. Then isn't this fun? The first code sign command has a path of this in it. That'll work if you're running the command out of the Godot repo. But if you're not, then you'll need to specify the path to editor.entitlements within the repo. All right, so now what have we done? What did this do? To create a .app bundle. Do we have a .app bundle? Can I just run this? Open Godot.app. I know we're not probably finished, but let's just see what happens. Allow. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know if this is the mono version. I also don't know what this is. Project uses features unsupported by the current build. Oh yeah, so this is not the mono version. Well, isn't that fun? Isn't that just so fun? But it asked me if Godot mono could get access to something as well. I guess let's just keep reading. If you're building master branch, you also need to include support for Molten VK Vulkan portability library. Get dynamically. What? Okay, I'm going to ignore that for right now, even though I guess I am building the master branch. But let's wait for that to be a problem. I'm going to need this too, but first we need Godot mono. How do we get C# mono? Oh man, come on. Where's this thing? Is it in here somewhere? There's just Godot. What's the difference between the directory structures? There's Godot mono. Contents, Mac OS. It's just called Godot. Oh. Okay, did they say something about C# somewhere? Man. All right, well, look. Maybe this isn't worthwhile to do. Maybe we wait a month and then we just don't have a Mac build until then. Hey, Ramy. I'm currently trying to figure out a very involved problem. Well, I guess it's not too involved. I just need to figure out how to build Godot for C#. And this page doesn't talk about it at all. That was a yes or no question. The answer is yes. Yes, I'm here to brighten your day. All of your days. Godot build mono version. Compiling with .NET. This is, I want to compile the .NET version, right? Oh, wait, what's that? To enable it, module mono enabled yes to the scons command line. Aha! I mean, really, all this means nothing. The reason why it means nothing is I downloaded some artifacts, but like, am I even going to use those artifacts now? It sounds like I just need to generate this all from scratch. How often do you find yourself using Google as a backup to Bing? There's certain things I just kind of expect when I'm searching, and if I don't find it, then I guess I switch to Google. And sometimes it does a better job, sometimes it doesn't. Hey, Enobug. Using Bing for like half a year. Yeah. Well, if Google paid me to use their search engine, then I would probably just drop Bing completely. But I can't say no to that free money. I think we need to build from scratch here. All right, well, no point dragging my feet on this. We'll just put a note here. Note if you want the mono/C# version. I don't think you can use the artifacts. Maybe they're there. I have to do a bunch of testing. So, might not have it. Might not have the mono build artifact. No normal Linux editor. A lot of work to ensure it can be done for all platforms. It's likely going to go back. Is your points goal just going to get you like $5? Because it might not be worth it. I don't think you can use. Yeah, I guess I'll just link to this. Thank you, yo. If you want the mono C# version, I think you can use the artifacts. mref until there are proper nightly builds. $25. Okay, yeah, that's probably worth it. So do we build from scratch? Can I guess, yeah, I guess I can't use those artifacts is what it's saying. So I need to probably do this, and I probably need to specify that I want this enabled. Otherwise, following the instructions for building desired Godot binaries. Then generate the glue. Parts of the sources of the managed libraries are generated from the class DB. Okay, so here's, I'm very torn right now. Hey, Goose. Here are the stats right here of checkpoint number 1. So you can see Windows 113, Mac 16. So that's what, 16 out of 145. So it's a little more than 10%. Is this worth doing? Because it's all just going to get fixed automatically anyway. I don't think it's worth spending the stream time on this. If there's no Mac binary by Friday, it's not going to break everything, right? In fact, what is 16 divided by 145? Yeah, a little more than 10%. Exactly what I said. Yeah, I think we ignore this for now. Now, that said, I don't actually know whether it works on Linux, but I assume it will. Actually, also, I assume it'll work on Intel Macs. I wonder how many of these people had ARM Macs. Probably the majority of them. But maybe like 6 people could still play on Mac. It's just not even worth producing a build. All right, I got 3 times 5 for Amazon to be done with it by now. Yeah. Well, in my mind, that's worth it. Just being done with it now and going back to something that's not going to interrupt your search ergonomics. It was just, yeah, just 11 misclicks or whatever. Or 16. So scroll down to that, follow these steps. Which means you need to build from scratch. Well, at least I think it means you need that. You build from scratch following these instructions. Yeah, I think that means you can't use the GitHub artifacts. All right, well, I'm just going to ignore this for now. Maybe this is something I do tomorrow. Thursday, consider building Godot from scratch, following the instructions I wrote in the Godot engine note, so that we can have a Mac OS build. I don't think it's worth spending stream time on that. That's all. Yeah, I'll just say this was the issue. And my code, my repo in temp/Godot has the fix now. I just need to build, yeah. Okay, well, that's too bad. We have to go through all these issues. Let's take a look. Let's start with this one. Tire floating text method call takes too much space. Yeah, I don't think this is needed for checkpoint number 2. So I'm going to just bump this to whenever. Okay, next, fixed blurry text/font. Yeah, this is a problem. This is a big problem. By the way, check this out. For those who didn't see on Discord, and you probably wouldn't have because it was in a thread and I don't think it notifies anybody, I added Darkstorm's lightning graphic to the game. So now if we start a battle with the mage, actually, I guess yeah, let's just do that. Watch this. Okay, well, it worked, but it showed in the background. Let me let me tone down the damage of lightning zaps, and then you can actually see what's going on. I'll make this do damage equals 1. There. Haven't seen this in a hot minute. It's looking great. Well, thanks, Melmsy. I hope you can try it on Friday. All right, let's do that same thing again. Start battle, forest. Whoops, that's the wrong character. I'll eventually get this demo right. Okay, now we zoom in. You ready for the lightning bolts? Yeah. Look at that. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And if I edit it to be, let's say the forest 2, they'll probably die here, but yeah, you can see it strike multiple enemies in this battle. Yeah. I mean, my mage then dies. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. I also, one of the things you probably noticed there is that the fireball shoots much faster. I added a speed component. I need to make it angle next, but that's not super important. But it doesn't, slowly go toward the enemy, which look kind of silly. So yeah, blurry text. Let's figure that out. It's not too bad over here, but I think I need to maximize it for it to look completely crisp. Yeah, I think this is looking fine. Oh, by the way, I changed a bunch of stuff. Let me show off some of the things that I changed. For one, I centered most of this. And that way this is just a cleaner view. I put the timer for auto battling beneath this. And I put a starting battle in thing on here. So that's pretty nice. I put tooltips on practically everything. I actually put tooltips on individual labels so that you'd be able to tell how level works, how health works, all this stuff. And even this, like it tells you about left and right click. I made the tooltips for this a little bit different. So now the text is larger for the title of this thing. I wrote passive ability in there. There's probably a bunch of other stuff I did. I don't know, it was a lot of small stuff. Did something change in the new editor? Yeah, they just had a bug. They were refactoring some code and there was a bug and now it can't export. This looks like a whole different game. I mean, part of the reason it looks like a whole different game is because there's now a map in the background. That's the biggest change. But then these controls at the bottom, if you haven't seen this, these are really, really helpful. Checkpoint number 1, you clicked, there was a button up here that said start battle. You clicked start battle and it just randomly chose some of your adventurers and put them into an instance. And here you now can edit your party. So you can pick where you want to go. You can choose who's going to go there. And then you've got a repeat battle for the times when you're like, oh, I just want to fight here again. And you've got an auto repeat battle thing. And then you can't see because I'm kind of blocking it, but there's a start battle button here where you can have another one going. So I could just do something like this and then set this to auto repeat. So this is good, but I think this is really pointing towards some of the feedback we're probably going to get on Friday, which is like, okay, well, now the game is pretty much playing itself. Like, what am I doing? And I don't have a great answer for that. We should probably make the end battle screen fade in now that I think about it. Yeah, I think that would be a good change. That way you can still see the end of the battle. I'm going to write that down. Make end battle screen fade in rather than immediately appearing. That way you can see animations play out. All right, well, blurry text. I don't know what we do about this. Yeah, we had some other settings that were here. Default font hinting, multi-channel sign distance. I mean, everything looked pretty good. Font hinting, light. C font hinting. Where do I take a look at that? This. Well, how did this help me at all? All right, use default font hinting mode, crisper but less smooth. I don't know what that means. Hinting mode changes both horizontal and vertical glyph metrics. I guess we should probably just try this out. Not updating the $sign to gold now. Yeah, I just wrote that as an issue yesterday. To quickly add Skelecoin. Like I said, it doesn't make sense that it'd be Skelecoin because it would mean that you started a whole economy even though your town has no bearing on the world yet. I think I'm just going to make it gold. let's try hinting normal and see if that actually does anything here. I guess we need to take a picture of the game before we do that, so I know what I'm actually looking at. So I haven't changed anything right now. It's going to look exactly like how it did. I'm just getting a before picture. Yeah, I'll just highlight this and there's our image. So now let's paste that somewhere. No, let's just save it. Oh, you know what I could do? I could paste it in the GIMP. Which I guess if I just, it doesn't matter. 1920 by 1080. Oh, right. It's not that size, though. I always forget. It's 3840 by 2160. Okay, so there's the old view. And you can see these don't all line up. And that's the problem that I want to fix. And I don't know if turning this thing on is going to do that. What if that's part of the lore? No one in this realm knew why it's been called Skelegold for millennia? You're saying it's just a different name for gold. And not a coin with a skeleton drawn on it. Yeah, 85 filter. Are you the only skeleton building your own town? Maybe your skeleton exists in a country of skeletons all using skeleton coins. Yeah, I kind of thought that you're the first person to die to a snake's poison, and that's what turned you into a skeleton. So yes, you would actually be the first skeleton to have done this. Looking for something in the editor now? Yeah, plain tasks, I think it's called. Or maybe to do plus. I don't remember which one is the VS Code one. VS Code. Yeah, I think I used this one. Is there a picture of any of this? Yeah, I think I used this one. I think it's pretty good. Okay, so we're going to change that property. We're going to set this to normal. It's going to say we need to restart. So we're going to restart. And now we launch the game. Does it look any different? Let's make a new layer. Did it just paste a layer in for me? No, that was the last one. Merge down, new layer, paste that in. Okay, so now what we can do is we can just click this button and see if there's a difference. You can, I mean, I know the tooltip is a different spot, but if I just click here, you can see the text does look different. And it looks like vertically it's smaller in the new one. Is that actually better? I can't tell which one is better. And what about this? Like, okay, so this is the new one right here. All of these line up. I guess they lined up in the old one too. What about this? Didn't I say something didn't have the same like bottom line? Where is that? Yeah, this. And does the new one look better? No. Can you remind me why we're not using integer scale mode? This fixes almost all the one-off pixel issues. Also makes everything look better when you scroll. Because I need to full screen the game every time I play. I guess maybe that's all we need to change though. Where'd the font thing go here? So we can just set this to light, I guess. And then, yeah, save and restart. Ever saw blurry icons in the rich text box? No, I haven't done that yet. Scale. So if I do this, I think the game is going to look like it's half size. Yeah. But the text should be very, very crisp. And if I full screen, does it actually go into full screen? Okay, it does. Does that fix the issue? So now I want to paste this in. So let's delete this one, I guess. Can you clear a layer? Do I even care about doing that? I guess just delete is easier. Make a new one. All right, now anchor this down. All right, so let's compare these two. So how does this change? They look pretty much the same. Why is this off by a little bit? Oh, because the padding on the, oh man, the window. How about this? Let's just copy this one rectangle and make a new image with just that. So that's the new one. And now we want the old one. So this is new. So new is going to be on top. So we're going to make a new layer and anchor this and then put it on bottom. There. So now we have new and yeah. All right, now I want them to be in the same spot so that I can compare them more easily. Can I move this? Or at least like close enough to the same spot? I guess the way we could make this easier is add an alpha channel and set the opacity lower and then just drag this until it's on top. Yes. All right, now, is there a difference? No. There is no difference. Which means that these aren't aligned? No, they are aligned. They were aligned in the old one. What? What am I don't even know what I'm looking at anymore. Something wasn't aligned. I don't know, but I guess this all looks, yeah, like this. This is messed up, right? This is, where's the line tool? Line. No, it looks correct. Huh. What about this? No, I don't think this does look correct, right? Like the A looks like it's higher up than the D. Yeah, I would expect everything to be on the same line. But I don't know what's causing this. Maybe maybe the font filter shouldn't be linear. We need to change that everywhere in the game. I just need an example of some text that looks bad right off the bat. That's on the fractional scale, right? No, this is the integer scale. Yeah, scale mode integer. Although it shouldn't make a difference when I'm full screened because at that point it is an integer scale of 2. So there's something else going on here. We could try changing the filter. Like this all looks really crisp in the editor. But it is a true type font, so it should look good at any zoom level. The problem is it gets rasterized for the game. And we have a filter here and it's set to linear. If I set this to nearest, it should start looking blurry. Actually, doesn't look blurry here. And nothing else here is going to be a good idea, right? Yeah, I don't think the other ones really matter. They're all just either linear or nearest. All right, let's try running this. Then full screen this thing. Does adventurer skills look any different? Not really. I don't know what to do about this. I'm not even sure there's a problem. I think there is, but it's hard to tell. So is there any difference now in these labels? No. They look pretty much identical. It's the point where I don't even think I know if which one I changed. Level up is what changed. All right, I'm gonna try this one more time. So we go into full screen. We got to find a label that just looks bad. Somewhere in that picture I had, the word adventurer didn't look so great. Maybe this is a good example. Yeah, like the word battle. It just looks bad, right? Like the A is clearly above the B and the T. What does this look like in the editor, I wonder? Where even is that label? It's tooltip on parent, which I guess isn't going to show me anything. All right, let's just make a new scene and make a control here and then label underneath. And we'll say something. We'll just say the same text that's in this other thing. How much health this adventurer has. How much health this adventurer has. So I want this label to be in the editor. Good. Let's word wrap it and then expand it a little bit. It's happening here too. Is this just the font? Oh my God, if it turns out to just be the font, I'm gonna go nuts. Yeah, look, the A is hovering above the baseline of the B, the T, and the L, and then the E is also hovering above it. What? What's going on? So this would imply it is not a... Yeah, wow, I don't think this is a rendering issue. I think it's a font issue. Look at each. Yeah, each also looks like it's hovering in a weird way. And I don't think the filter changes it. Yeah, I think this is just a messed up font. All right, so let's change to a different font, I guess. Oh, I don't think we have an easy way of doing that. New system font. Semi-bold. Yeah, look at this. What's the name of the font? Jumpy jars. That's a code. I think integer scale mode doesn't work when you go full screen because you should still see black bars. There shouldn't be black bars, right? Because if it's 1920 by 1080 and that's what my resolution is, it should fit perfectly. All right, I forgot how to use fonts. Hang on one second. Okay. Did I ever write anything down about this? Is it in the UI? Fonts, yeah, here. Add your TTF fonts to assets/fonts. Set it as font data for something using custom fonts property. Okay, so let's go find a font. You knew it was Frou. Someday she's gonna accidentally wander into the stream. All right, so we need a true type font. Google Fonts. I'm just gonna pick something. Is there a font called Skeleseller? I'm obviously kidding, but I pressed enter after joking. All right, so get font. Sure. One font family selected. I'm guessing it's just the regular one. Wow, this page has changed since I've last downloaded a font. All right, so we got a font. Now we open it. Where is regular? Roboto black, thin, medium, bold. I wonder what happens when you bold a font, but you don't have bold information about it. What does Godot do? Because other editors would probably just like expand the size of the glyph. Anyway, I don't even know what we're supposed to use here. What is the see how to use? Oh my goodness. All right, whatever. Let's just pick one of these. Doesn't matter. What happens if I open this in Mac? Font preview. Oh, neat. It's got all the... Oh, no, it doesn't. All right, that's probably fine, right? Yeah, that's probably fine. All right, so now what? We put this into the assets directory. Game assets. We don't have fonts. Throw this in there. Close out of this. I can't believe this. Can't believe this was a font problem this whole time. All right, now what do I do? Set it as font data for something using a label with custom fonts. Font data, system font. New font file, font variation. I think this might have changed since I last used it. This said dynamic font. We don't even have that as an option, do we? No, we don't. All right, whatever. I'm going to pick font file, and I'm going to just try dragging that thing on and see what happens. Neat. Is this what the font should look like now? I know it's blurry, but maybe then I should... Linear actually makes it look blurry now. Now nearest filter looks better. Yeah, everything looks aligned. Can we add some goofy font? Like it's made with bones? Never used vector fonts in any of your games or demos? I think if it's got a lot of text in the game, I guess a bitmap font doesn't necessarily look bad, but if you want different sizes or something, I think it can be hard to scale. I kind of want to just try this everywhere, but I don't think we can easily do that. We need to modify maybe just the default theme and set a font. The weird thing is this doesn't even look crisp in the editor. The other font did. Maybe font file isn't what I want. Maybe it's system font. No, if I do, what is this? No, yeah, font file. If I do font file, it's, okay, I see. Oh, I would need it installed. I guess that means everyone would need it installed. And then you need fallbacks and everything. And I guess this is how I'd make it look good. Yeah. By just changing the size. Okay. All right. Hey, Trackley. Change the import settings. Yeah. Hey, Potro, welcome back. Thank you for the 5 months. Import settings here. Oh, you can change the hinting per font. Interesting. Subpixel positioning, oversampling. If I change this, what happens? I have to click re-import. Oh, that's very smooth. Now we can set this back to like 24 pixels. Whoops, whoops. Oh, now it's doing that thing again. Look at that. What is causing that to happen? Whoops. Why can't I type in any of these things? Whoops. It's just whoopsing at me. Huh. I don't know. I don't know what to do here. I guess if I oversample too much, it starts... No, it didn't happen there. Did I change the size of this? It definitely showed these at like different levels like it did before. Maybe letter spacing. Or well, I think I want some amount of oversampling. I wonder what the default font uses. What if I set this to 1? 1 doesn't do anything. 2. 2 makes it look a little bit better. 10. override oversampling factor for the font. Render the font at a higher or lower resolution than intended without affecting its physical size. In most cases, it should be left at 0. All right, whatever. Let's just leave it at 0. Let's see if we can apply this to everything in the game. I think we would need to go change the root most nodes theme and then have the font get inherited by everything. I don't know if this is going to work. Let's just click new theme, try this out. So somewhere here you can set a font. I guess it's just like label, and then I would just happened. Oh, I accidentally clicked a different thing. Yeah, okay, so now in label we can change the font to be a font file. Default font, here we go. There. All right, did that change this everywhere in the game, I wonder? I can't save this. There we go. Let's try that. Hey, Phoenix Dev. Wow, we have made basically no progress so far. Oh. All right, let's set this back to fractional so I don't have to keep doing that. Is there so much more terrain? Yeah, there's a proper map now. I don't think this is using the new font. This doesn't look any different to me. But I guess it's just labels that would be affected, and these are labels and these are buttons. But I'm still not even sure that this is a different font. Only I could identify fonts at a glance. Okay, well, we could just keep modifying the theme here. Theme plus button. Is there no way to just set the font everywhere? This looks like it also worked. I think I need to pick a wacky font if I'm going to be able to tell. Where's the test thing? There's somewhere. Oh, here it is. Type of preview text. Adventurer. I picked this one, which I probably shouldn't have done. Maybe I should have picked like light 300 or something. Just messing up everything I can possibly mess up. Yeah, let's try to use that font. There we go. I want to change that for label as well. I don't think this is having any impact whatsoever. I didn't see any of these buttons change. I don't think higher looks like that. Oh, I'm so bad at this. Okay, so here's what it should look like. And what do we have? It's thicker here. Maybe it'd be more obvious with something like upgrade storeroom. Maybe I shouldn't be doing anything here. Okay, I want to put these side by side. No, yeah, the G. Okay, there. I finally figured it out. The G is totally different. So this G has 2 circles. This one has 1. So we know that we're not using the right font here. Is it because this inherits from something in UI? Yes, it does. Yeah, so we put it in the panel container here. We use that exact same theme. It should be fine. Theme. How do we use that theme? I guess I need to save this. I chose save. I guess save as. Default theme. Yeah, and now apply this here. Wait, shouldn't UI inherit from that though? Where did that save? There it is. Hey, nice, that worked. Yeah, nice. Okay. Is that less readable? I think it is. Default font property. Oh, you could do that. Okay, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, March. I would have just been floundering around for a while. Okay, so let's just get rid of all the theme stuff I just did. And go to project, font, theme, default font, custom font, assets, fonts. All right, so now everything's going to use that theme or that font, which, oh boy. Yeah, it's pretty clear I don't know what I'm doing. There was some other setting we could apply somewhere that made the fonts look really crisp, but then they apparently affect pixel art. I read about this somewhere. I wrote about it somewhere too, right? This font. Troubleshooting, blurry text. Yeah, this. See this? You generally just need to set stretch mode to canvas items. Yeah, that worked, but then I think this messes up everything else. Stretch mode. Canvas items. Let's try that. I think now the text is going to look perfect and everything else might look bad. Well, I don't know about perfect, but I think this definitely looks crisper. Yeah, I mean, look at that. The font is actually readable. Hey, Cubic. Now that's caused the two L's being like that. Caused by not having enough space? Yeah, probably. Okay, so I think we need to use the bolder font and then, I don't know. I don't know about this canvas items thing. Should probably write this down. And it's got to be font file. So what I did in choose the, that's so stupid. Where's any label? I already closed that thing. I know I'm all over the place. New label settings, font, new font file is what I want. Yeah. Choose new font file and drag your file onto it. Okay, then just delete this thing. Reveal in Finder. Delete. Okay, alternatively, you can go to Spectre theme, project settings. Oh, man. Project settings. GUI theme custom font. GUI theme custom font. Yeah, that's Obsidian that you were seeing here. This one. I think it is very nice. Okay, so the thing I wanted to test here is what if we use the bolder version of this? Whoops, I need to restart. I'm not totally convinced by any of this stuff. Yeah, this looks too thick. It's legible. Also, we should probably, at some point in the future, make some of these things bold or highlight them or something with which numbers change. Looks all right. There might be a version that's in between the two of those. There's another problem. It's a Godot problem, which is some C# handle isn't being released, so the game crashes every time you close it. I'm just gonna wait for that to get fixed. Where'd the font thing go? Yeah. So what's in between? Light 300 I think was a little too thin. And then black was a little bit too thick. Where even is that? They have the weights here as well. I don't see weights in the ones I downloaded. Yeah. Maybe I should have just dragged regular on here the whole time. Maybe that would have made sense. Let's try that out. All right, where'd the font go there? Regular. Now, I put no time in actually picking the font, right? Like I just picked one just to see what would happen. We could actually spend some time looking through the fonts and see what would look good for this. Forgot to expand the match shop. Yeah, I can. Okay, yeah, this looks a lot better. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this. Yeah. Yeah, this looks a lot better. But I use the canvas items thing, and I think I can't use that. I got a right to file a task. Make skill tooltips look better, perhaps. I could bold or change the color of values that change. E.g., increases damage by 10 plus 10 per level. And this is something that'll only work in Google Docs and not in Markdown, but then I change this. Yeah, well, probably the plus also looks like that. Yeah, that way at a glance you can tell what's changing and by how much. Okay, so canvas item thing, where is that? Can't do that. Turn on this. Make sure it's at the linear, not nearest. Can make the menu look like hanging signs. Yeah. Although the menu is just going to go away at some point probably, and it'll all be in game. So it says for pixel art, set stretch mode to viewport. And set the stretch scale mode to integer. Yeah. So I would need to change this and I'll lose all of what I just did. We'd set the stretch mode to integer. We would set this to viewport. And now it's going to look bad, I'm pretty sure. Well, it's going to be tiny, thanks to Mac. The window only actually uses the full resolution. Yeah, now the text isn't as crisp. May want to check rich text label in docs. Did you? I use some rich text labels, but does it have something that lets me handle this better? Also, even if it does, these buttons wouldn't use rich text labels. Yeah, now this looks less crisp. Man, all right, let me take a picture of... This is all so frustrating because I feel like there's something I just must be fundamentally misunderstanding here. Because there's no way this should be this tough for everyone who wants to make the text in their game look good. Probably like 99.9% of games have text in them somewhere. Probably closer to 100% than even that. Okay, so let's paste this in. And I'm just going to slam some text on top of all of this. This is with stretch mode canvas items. Yeah, I guess if we put that down here, it'll look better. And this looks pretty crisp. No text for checkers. Yeah, but a checkers video game would have a title screen with like 40 different options on it. choose your colors, customize your avatar, microtransactions, buy more pieces in the shop, unlock table flipping ability. You've just never played checkers. Viewport. And then maybe we change the, I don't know. Let's change the filter to just be inherit. I want to use nearest. I want to see if this looks different. We'll make every alternating button have a different filter. And we'll see if that looks any better once we're in the game. There, so buttons 1, 3, and 5 are going to have it. Is there any difference? I don't think so. Yeah, so I guess I was wrong. I guess that filter doesn't really matter too much. So this is with stretch mode set to viewport. If I just paste on top of this, let's merge this down, make a new layer, paste that in, anchor it down. I mean, you can see a difference. Here is the bad way, and here's the good way. Yeah, it's a very, very obvious difference. It's much, much more readable the old way. Then we had to use canvas items. So what does that do for pixel art then? Why is this a problem? What if we just didn't do that? In this mode, base size specified in width and height in the project settings is stretched to cover the whole screen. This means that everything is rendered directly at the target resolution. 3D is unaffected, while in 2D there's no longer a one-to-one correspondence between sprite pixels and screen pixels, which may result in scaling artifacts. But if we set what's viewport then? Viewport scaling means that the size of the root viewport is set precisely to the base size. Scene is rendered to this viewport first, then it's scaled to the screen. Content scale mode. That's only for Windows? Interesting. I was going to say, what if we had one window that just had all the text effects and one window that had all the other stuff? Base size in the project settings is stretched to cover the whole screen. That was the viewport being scaled. All right. Yeah. I mean, I can see just from this thing, yeah, clearly pixel art wouldn't look as good. But why don't I see that when I'm in the game then? Like if I set this to canvas items, shouldn't all the pixel art look worse? It looks fine to me. Yeah, it looks fine. And if it looks fine, then maybe we just use this. I mean, really, there's seemingly no detriment to using it this way, and then the font looks really good. I feel like I'm missing something here. Like maybe this is only looking good because of the resolution I have, but eventually we can just let you change the resolution of the game. We'll have like a proper settings menu and there'll just be an options here. Man, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, but I don't see any problem. Also, when we export, we should probably change the screen to be full screen. Should probably write that in here. When exporting or in release builds, probably have the game only run in full screen until we have more options. If you don't have a 1080p monitor though, then that means that anything smaller than 1080p is going to shrink this to be half the size it should be. So you're going to be playing the game like this, even though the window has seemingly enough space. And there are probably people playing on laptops and stuff where they have some like odd resolution, at least not a 1080p resolution. All right, well, I think there are, if we're going to do this for this checkpoint, then we would need to do two different things. We need to set this to fractional, and we need to set this to canvas item. So it feels almost like both of these are wrong. But yeah, that's like good enough, and then the text is readable. The start battle button looks stupid now. Look any better when it's bigger? Yeah. Ask for resolution in the feedback. I assume most will play on 1920 by 1080. I think I think we should just put in the resolution options in the next checkpoint and then just keep track of what people choose. Or actually, they shouldn't need to choose something. It should just detect it. I think I'm going to keep this structure for the game. But I don't know. I'm so torn on this. Yeah, I think the text looks a lot better. This makes me wonder, yeah, was this always a font problem? Is this like a Mac and font problem? If I set this back to nothing here, we just cut this out. Save and restart. Does it still look bad? Actually, while this is loading, I'll write something down here. This is, man, I've done like nothing so far. All right, metrics. Keep track of the resolution that the player of the player's monitor. This may reveal different aspect ratios that we'll want to handle. Okay, let me hit the play button here. This is now using the original font. And I think it looks pretty good. No, it's doing that thing again, right? Yeah, it's doing that thing again. Yeah, you can especially tell over here. What causes that? Like, there's no way the baseline for these letters is just different, right? Okay, well, let me put this picture into GitHub. The built-in font, at least on Mac OS, seems to look weird no matter which settings I choose. And that picture, you can see the word battle has different baselines for the letters. Yeah. So I think we need to use a different font. However, the only way to make the font look good, well, seemingly the only way to make it look good is to set, what is it called? Stretch mode canvas items. Yeah. The stretch mode to canvas items, which you're apparently not supposed to use for pixel art, I don't actually see any degradation of the art with this setting. So for checkpoint 2, I'm going to use a fractional scale since we don't have resolution controls yet. And a new font and a stretch mode of canvas items. James Warner, hello. And hello, Raiders. We're getting ready for a launch of the second checkpoint of this game on Friday. And I'll show the game, but I want to talk about bricklaying first, which is a lot of what you do right before launch is not like a new major feature. It's fix up that tiny issue and make this thing look better. So that's what today is all about. It's a lot of small incremental changes that without any of them wouldn't probably really matter. And they're not the most fun to do, but they'll make the game better in the end. So anyway, for those of you who haven't seen or who tuned in, 5 minutes ago before the raid, this is Skeleseller. And the way that this game works is where are you? There you are. You were out adventuring and you got bitten by a snake and you died to poison, you came back as a skeleton and you started this town. And you hire adventurers. So right now we only have the rogue over there. And if I click start battle, they'll just start a battle. They automatically do battle. And when they win, you will get items from this battle. So they're about to defeat this bat. And then I could speed this up. Yeah, so I got 2 potions from here. So they went into my storeroom. And now my rogue and my worker, which is actually me, will go and stock my shops and they'll sell these items. And you use the money you get to upgrade your town, upgrade your adventurers. So this is going to be playable on Friday. And if you do play it on Friday, I'm going to say this a million times, make sure to provide feedback. There's a button right there in the game. There are some really simple questions. Yeah. Blue Horse, thanks for the 6 months of subscription all at once. That's very nice of you. I hope your stream went well, James Warner. They've been doing the opposite, moving fast and ignoring the small annoying details. Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like there are times in the development cycle for each approach. Also, a lot of polish. We're not going to be a ton of polish. Like, there are a lot of UIs in the game that don't look great. Like this, well, this is one of them, I guess. That one, this one. These are not going to look so much better by the time I launch on Friday, but they're usable. The real polish is going to happen when we're about to launch the final game. So this is like a v0.2 that we're going to launch. Anyway, I've now changed a bunch of stuff. So let's go delete some of these. We don't need this or this. And then hopefully Godot deletes the other files. It does not. Okay, well, let's delete those too. There. Where will it be obtainable on Friday and how much if there's a price tag? It'll be on itch and it'll just be free. Yeah. So there's already a page, although this is what the game looked like for checkpoint number 1. So this was after 1 month of work. Now checkpoint number 2 is after like 2.5 months of work. So we still have probably another 4 months at least. But you can see a lot of this already changed. Like we had every button in the game was over here. And now instead of 3 buttons to start a battle, they're in the bottom of the screen. Provide feedback has been moved to a menu. Upgrade shops is no longer there. The game has nudge labels telling you about it. The other ones are all here, but those will eventually be in a more like in-game way. Can't wait to check out the game on Friday. Yeah, thank you, Blue Horse. Yeah, and thanks for the vote of confidence in subscribing for so much of the time. I'm excited. I don't know. I feel like there's so many things better about making this game than about making Botland, and I've learned a lot too. Botland was this just sprawling game with a ton of different infrastructure behind it, and an elevator pitch that most people are probably like, what? In Skeleseller, I feel like I can give you the entire overview of the game in like 30 seconds. You'd be like, oh, I get it. Okay, that sounds fun. Or that doesn't sound fun. That's fine, but it's not. What? How does that work? What do you do? Why are you a skeleton? Okay, so This should not be checked in. And presumably nothing should have changed in the town. Yeah. So blurry text, see this, generally just need to set stretch mode to canvas in the project settings. However, that mode isn't recommended for pixel art due to how it scales. This isn't perfect though. It's just really, really hard to get font settings to look good in a pixel art game. Also, the default font may not be the best. I took this picture. Where'd the picture go? There. Look at the word battle and how its characters are misaligned vertically. There. Yeah. It's just a little ridiculous. Whatever though, I am now gonna just use this. So this did not change the font for some reason. Oh, did I just turn that off? I probably just turned it off. Let's go change it back to normal. Font, theme, this, assets, fonts. There we go. Thanks for resubbing LSRP. Good morning. Would you like a link for pixel art fonts? I know there's a gallery with lots of amazing bitmap pixel fonts. Yeah, sure. Yeah, maybe that's the solution this whole time. Are these? Oh, neat. They have different licenses too. Okay, you know what? Maybe that's what we should try. Maybe that's what... Well, I don't know how I feel about this actually. Also, do they have different font sizes here? Maybe. Maybe they're just scaled 1, 2, 4. I don't know. But yeah, thanks. I'll have to take a look at that. Might not be able to fit more text than with a regular font. If you can't fit more, that's not necessarily a problem. But if you have to fit less because they're just wider or something, I guess that's the problem with... Wait a second. I don't know. Whatever. I'm going to look at this later. But thank you. Yeah. Perhaps it's time to look into bitmap fonts. James Warner shared this link. Yeah. I stole the idea from them. No. I probably started development earlier. I think their development cycle was shorter. I always do kind of wonder, like, did they see Botland and they're like, that's a good game, but this guy's an idiot. But yeah, I never actually played it. Perhaps consider using... Okay, my eye is double typing a lot. Consider using a bitmap font. Well, we'll have to look into that. I'm going to push this to checkpoint number 3 then. And I didn't actually submit this, did I? No, I did not. Yeah, it looks a little weird zoomed out. Like you can tell there's something not quite right about this. And then if you click this, hopefully it looks better. Still doesn't really look better. I don't know. I can't keep focusing on this. Although, why is that one wrong? Because of the outline, I think. Yeah, it might be the outline that's doing that. Where is that label? Town has a nudge label somewhere. What? Where did I put that? Oh, I must have put it in here. Yeah, there it is. What, you have an outline? You do, 2 pixels. But the size is only 16 pixels. Yeah, I think that's another problem. And what is your filter set to? Linear. Does that look better? If so, then I just messed up everything. No, that looks worse. That looks much worse. Yeah, I think this is a problem with the outline size. And I think maybe the easiest way to fix this is just with a smaller outline, like 1 pixel. We don't even need an outline though, now that I think about it, because it's got a background. I still think that looks bad. I'm gonna just delete the outline. I know, James. Yeah. I'm very torn on this. Okay, there, that's good enough. Maybe that it's centered and not an outer outline. Well, I just removed it and I think it still looks kind of blurry. Oh wait, that's because I'm not in full screen though, right? Enter full screen. Okay, so that's as good as it's gonna get. Like this. Yeah. When you want to link the font size to the int scale of the screen anyway, usually have a few fonts, one for text, one for menus. Yeah. I think I know what you're saying, Intensive Code, and yeah, I think your gut feeling about this is correct. And I might have misspoken earlier, and I might have just been unclear. But I think what I meant by scaling is like we would need certain sizes for certain things, and that means that we either need, if we only have one font, for example, we would need like the UI size is 1x, and then somewhere else it's 2x. But if we had different sort of pixel size fonts, then we could scale them all up by 2x and get different grades along the way. So imagine you have like a 12 pixel font and a 16 pixel font. So now you can target 12, 16, 24, 32, 36, 48. Yeah. And that's with 2 different font sizes. Anyway, I don't know. I'll need to look into that. I think this is good enough for now. Yeah. Change font. Now using the Roboto font. I also changed the stretch mode to canvas items, so the text will look better in the game. This probably isn't a final solution to, what is the name of the 65? Number 65, but it's good enough for checkpoint 2. Yeah. Okay, while I was doing that, I ran into another issue that I wanted to fix really quickly. This one is super simple to fix though, because this we just changed to a darker color. Or maybe just more opaque. And maybe also a darker color. Yeah, there. Mention some selected examples. Oh, yeah. But these are of monospace fonts, right? I don't want a monospace font. And a bitmap font doesn't have to be monospace. Yeah. Okay. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, I remember what in here. All right, we're laying a bunch of things out, just kind of haphazardly here. And I guess that's the next issue we need to work on. Well, I should probably take a break pretty soon. People didn't know you could hover over abilities. That's kind of been addressed. People didn't know you could right click to remove points. I think I just wrote it right there. Yeah, hover for information. And also if you hover over here, it says you can freely add or remove points by left and right clicking skills. So if you have points, you can put points into this. You can remove points from this. So I think that's a little bit clearer. Hopefully. And then I just want to make this look a little bit better. The unfortunate problem is I don't really know what I'd be doing to make it look better. And I guess these should maybe look like buttons. What do they look like over here? No, they're buttons there because they have to be buttons. Do we even need this selected character rogue? Can you give the 30-second pitch on Skeleseller? I'll give you the very shortened version. You run a town and you hire adventurers to do battle for you. And when they win a battle, they get items. And then you will sell these items. It's a very laid back, casual game. You use the money then to upgrade your town and adventurers. And on Friday, you'll be able to play this version of the game for free. It'll eventually be a paid game like 4 or 5 months from now. Okay, I think I see where the stretch mode of canvas items is possibly hurting us. No, maybe I don't. Yeah. Yeah, sure thing, buffer. Also, why is this main menu? There's like blank space at the bottom of it. All right, I definitely want to change that in a sec. Where's town menu? It's not there. It's in here, I think. No, it's up one. Town menu, here it is. Why? What is that blank space at the bottom? What is that blank space? I am not sure what's doing that. I shouldn't even need to do anything here because it's a VBox container, right? Yeah. Strange. Maybe the size of this is just wrong? Not container sizing, but this. Oh, this is sized by its parent, margin container? Yeah, but there still shouldn't be an issue here. Unless it's that the panel itself is too big. Could be that. Transform. Yeah, I could just have made this smaller. Well, there we go. So now what? Did I delete the margin? I did, yeah. Okay, that'll look better. Although actually, let's make this 8888. Is that too much? No, I want left and right to be 4 and the others to be 8. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so there's that change that I want to make. I also wanted to change the skill tree itself. I guess we could go work on the skill tree. All right, so what I was thinking is, what if you didn't have selected character? Maybe it could say select your character and then the buttons are beneath it. But we need to change quite a lot in here. I think we'd start by adding in a panel container, then a margin container, and then everything. So we don't need background anymore. Then we put all this stuff in there. Although tooltip still needs to be outside of this as a sibling. Did that work? No, it did not work. I need you to be up there and then you to be like that. Yeah. Okay, so obviously this looks terrible. now we're going to add in a VBox container and put everything underneath this. And it'll look slightly better, but still terrible. Yeah. Okay, so the first row, I need to think of how we want to lay this out. We have your character selector. This thing said which one was selected. And I guess it's because you otherwise wouldn't know. Could this be a sprite instead? Maybe they could just be sprites everywhere. Then stats, level, health, power, fortitude, your available skill points, then your skills, and then a close button. So what I was thinking is, if we used pictures to represent the different characters, right now we only have 4, so it wouldn't be a problem. Although in the future it will be a problem. But I think having the picture there is good, and then having a highlight for it. So I think we should do that. So changes to make. Put in character pictures. And then highlight the selected character. There's somewhere else that we do this. Well, I guess here? Yeah, this is it. Yeah, so the party section kind of does this. Party section, hey Lupo, kind of does this. Okay, then stats. How do we want to show that? I don't know. Oh, wait a second. Someone asked me earlier, now that you just mentioned laptop, I remember that I missed a question. Do you ever use a laptop or someone else's computer and struggle to type? No, generally I don't. I do use a laptop, but I don't struggle to type, I think. QWERTY isn't too bad, although the laptop I have is a Chromebook, and Chromebook has like a slightly different layout for how you do things with the modifier keys. Thermal paste issue. It could be a thermal paste issue. It could be a cooling issue. Like maybe the fan is broken or not operating at the right speed. Maybe, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't know what else it could be. I guess maybe like a faulty CPU that, what would it be doing? I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to use pictures there. Like I said, that'll work for now while we only have so many different characters. Maybe it's worth checking the tab container. The thing is, I basically made a tab container out of this. And I don't know, I wonder if a tab container could have pictures for the tabs. They usually don't have a lot of flexibility with that stuff. A tab for each control. So if I add in just a bunch of labels, I guess. All right, we need to look this up because I don't know how to use this. Yeah, it's probably cooling or thermal paste then, but I don't know for sure. And I would say keep looking up some information online about it. Creating a tab for each one. Active tabs, corresponding controls made visible. All other child controls are hidden. Ignores non-controlled children. No, I think this is different from what we'd want, because this implies that you have a fully made skill tree for each character. And we just really have the one skill tree that we edit for the different characters. But also, I'm not sure how you would control the picture aspect. And either way, I don't think we need to do that right now. Close tabs to the right. Okay, so let's go change skill tree and do something pretty basic here. We're going to also do this. Close every other tab I have. Skill tree. So right now we're getting all of these things. I want these to be unique. Access as unique name. So character selector. I'm just going to put a %sign there. Selected character label. I'm going to do this with all of this stuff. Level, health, power, fortitude. Level, health, power, fortitude. Yep, so that's that. Okay, what's next? Available skill points. Passive. Available skill points. Passive skill. Passive skill. And then the 2 active skills. The tooltip didn't actually change, although we could also just make that unique. Did I used to stream web dev a long time ago? Yeah. I've been streaming, well, not since 2015, but I started streaming in 2015, and then I took a break for a while. Go work in the industry again. Skill 1 label, skill 2 label. These don't have unique names, but we can give them unique names. But then mod 1 and mod 2 are going to be problematic. Mod 1. Is that not an issue? I don't understand. How do we get mod 1 and mod 2? Get skill buttons? Oh, ooh, that's something. Okay, well, that's going to have to change. Yeah, also, Lupo, please stop segmenting your messages. But thank you. I appreciate it. And hey, War Eagle. Yeah, 3 years. Then I was like, I want to go back to doing what I want to do. And it's been pretty great. I've also got, in case you're curious on everything that's been going on here, all of the journal entries. I try to keep them all pretty brief, but it's more meant to be just a like glance at it and see trends. This is pretty much worked on getting checkpoint number 2 ready. Lots of small tasks that will hopefully add up to a better experience. Okay, so this will have to change. This was, I don't even know what, somewhere. Skill container. Get node skill container. Okay, we'll need to make this unique. And then hbox container, and then get the skill buttons that we have. Okay, well, let's change this. Call this active skill 1 name and active skill 2 name. Change this and that. Make them unique. Okay, so everything that we do here should now have a percent if I'm calling get node. Let's make sure that's the case. Okay, I'm not doing it for these 5 right now. What was my role at Google? I've got more information about it in this command. But I was a software engineer. So close buttons, skill container. Why is the skill container still fetched that way? No, there's a percent sign there. Why didn't it catch that? Oh, because of this one. Oh. Also, it says skill containers. Is that not unique? That doesn't sound right. No, it is a list. Well, why are there multiple of those? There's just one skill container. What? That's strange. Oh, because we're getting the hbox container underneath it. That's why. Okay, I see. Okay, I think that's fine. All right, skill label, get name. This is not possible anymore. This just has to be get a label. Yeah, in fact, it's the only label there. But I don't know how you do that. Get node. Yeah, I guess I would need to just write a thing like I did for the other one here. Get children of type label. Yeah, get children of type label. There. Okay, what was the other one? Mod close button. Close button is right there. And mod. Mod 1, mod 2. I don't think we need to make those unique. Okay, so now let's search for get node again and see if we fix all of this. Yeah. Oh, there's just this one. Debug grant skill points. I guess we can make that unique as well. Debug grant skill points. So the UI should still function. It'll look bad, but hopefully this builds. Well, even the background makes this practically unreadable. I want this to be the same as the other ones that I've made. I should just make a background color and use it everywhere. What is this one? Yeah, like this is much darker. And even then, it's not really fully readable. What about the start battle interface? All right, this is very dark. Let's use that one. I think we can close 144. Let me take a look. You know, the more I've been thinking about this, the more I think here's a crazy idea. What if every enemy was just a pile of basic stats? So power, fortitude, and bosses were the only enemies that had anything special about them. Abilities, probably mainly abilities. Maybe resistances, but probably a bad idea. Yeah. Because what I was thinking about is you probably don't want to hover over every single enemy in the game. If you see a large enemy, then you're like, oh, there's something special about that. Excuse me. And if you hover over it, maybe it's like, this is, you know, the ogre boss. It's got +5 damage every single time it attacks. And it just keeps stacking. So like you want to win the fight fast. Because otherwise I feel like there's just a lot to memorize or a lot to keep in mind as you're doing things. Are there different types of dungeons right now? There are. So you can pick between the locations you go to, and there will be different enemies, but the different enemies and the amounts and their general power levels, you can just kind of see. Like, look at how fast the life bar is going down. Okay, so that's that place. Now, if I go to this place, now it's like, oh, the life bar is going down slower. It's like, okay, that's something you can clearly just kind of see, and you got feedback, and there's no confusion there, I feel. But let's say this enemy in the background poisoned you. You wouldn't know which one did it. You wouldn't know what poison does exactly, or like, there'd be a lot of confusion there. So what I was thinking is, yeah, what if you're inside of a battle like this, and let's say there was a skeleton that took up like 4 squares, and you hover over it and it says, you know, boss skeleton increases the defense of all the allies around it or something like that. And you'd be like, oh, okay, I understand. Because it's not like you can influence the battles once you're in it. And if you can't, then it's just a matter of, did you pick the right adventurers and the right skills? And there are still ways we can make it so that certain adventurers are needed for something without having tons of abilities and stuff. So I think that's what I'm leaning toward, and I think that would make the game a little bit simpler than what we had planned. Retied to Arena 2, maybe Swamps Poisoning, for example. Yeah, and maybe there's something where before you go into it, you know ahead of time, okay, yes, the swamp is a poison area, that sort of thing. No, Darkstorm, I hope you're not taking this the wrong way. I know you have a cap at the end of your message. I'm not saying you're always trying to add complexity or something. I think it's that I've had this happen with games I've made in the past before. I'm like, oh man, you know, it'd be cool. And I came up with an idea, and to me, it makes sense because I made it. And then I show it to somebody else, and they're like, I don't understand the system. So what I recommend almost everybody do if you're making any sort of product is have at least one user research session with a friend who's never seen it, and just see how they interact with it. And granted, it's harder if you're making something that's not a game. If you're making a game, pretty much anyone can sit down and play a game. But like if you're making, you know, enterprise architecture software, it's like, yeah, you can't just have your average friend sit down and use it. Unless they're an architect. But yeah, for games, it's definitely easier to do. And you'll learn quite a lot by doing this. And I mean, this is what professionals do and major companies do. They have user researchers, and they look into, here's what people say as they use this, here's where they're getting caught up, here's what they want. Yeah, War Eagle, it has been evolving pretty quickly, and it's definitely shaping up to be more of a game. Next week, we're going to start working on the music. Actually, I don't really have a plan for Friday. It's mostly like sit around, celebrate, read feedback. Maybe I start working on music on Friday. I don't know. Might be asking too much. Anyway, did I ever get this thing? Oh, right. That's what I had said, that I wanted a different background color, and then I got completely lost. Okay, so the background color comes from end battle screen, and it's here, and we just need to... That's not right. It's not end battle screen. It's a start instance. I picked the wrong thing. Yeah, so we just copy this or save this somewhere. Just save as like panel background. Do we have a resources directory? No, although maybe it's in scenes. We have T-res files somewhere. Type T-res? No, we don't have any of those. TSCN? Yeah, I did the search correctly. And I think T-res is what it's supposed to be called. All right, I think I want to put it in... I don't know anymore. Scenes? I want to put it in scenes, yeah. It doesn't really matter. It's just a folder. You can always move folders around. All right, so resources. We're going to save this as panel, like UI panel. I guess it's always a UI panel, like panel background. Yeah, there. Okay, now let's make every panel use that. End battle's a little different. That one probably doesn't need to use it, but this one should. So how do we do that? Theme override, style, load, assets. It's not in there. I put it in scenes. There. All right, so that makes that much darker. Same thing with the skell tree. This is a panel container. What does quick load do? Oh, nice. That's exactly what I want. Keeping it simple just allows me to go in no matter how far into the game I get. Maybe with some exceptions in special areas. Yeah, I think bosses would be a cool idea, but I think bosses would need to be more than just a large enemy. I think we need to do something. The other thing about bosses is that you'd probably expect it to have some custom animations, whereas maybe you don't expect that out of the regular enemies. I want to keep the art burden pretty low on this game. Well, I do think we're going to need some more. Oh, speaking of which, we have a new graphic that Quickie Joe just made yesterday. And I will maybe add it today. I think we've been going somewhat slowly, so hard to say. Test boss for checkpoint 3. Yeah. I think I wrote this down. I think the big thing for me... Checkpoint 3, major goal, there should be no more large questions. If the game doesn't feel fun by now, then we've been developing the wrong thing. So yeah, that's what I want checkpoint 3 to be about, is like, is this, if this were the game and it was just a little more of what you're seeing here, are you happy with it? Whereas I feel like checkpoint 1 and 2 are like, there's more flexibility. Should we add something different? Should we change some big things around? And I don't think we've changed anything major yet. Oh, I don't think all the systems were there. Just a big man who's big. Might be surprisingly fun on its own. It might be, yeah. Nice if bosses are special and not just... yeah. Yeah. There's a game called... Oh no, what is it called? Timing Hero? This thing, what is this? Yeah, it's called Timing Hero. Anyway, this game had 4 controls, I think. You could dodge up, left, down, or you could use a special ability. And that was it. I'm pretty sure that was it. I think it was just literally those 4 actions. And the game just threw you into a bunch of pretty much automatic battles where you just had to dodge enemy abilities and then eventually attack with your ability. And that was it. That was the whole game. I played this for a surprising amount of time, given that that's the only thing you do in the game. So I think I said this. I think the biggest question right now is, is Skeleseller enough? Like, do there need to be more systems, more to do, etc.? And then I look at other games that are successful sometimes, and I think, well, they didn't do that. You know, they just had the one system or one mechanic, and it was fun enough, and you played, you had fun. Well, that's the thing. I don't know for sure if I will find out on Friday. This is one of the difficulties of user surveys, is that I think sometimes people are pretty good at saying what they like and don't like, and sometimes they're not. I think if people said the game is fun, but I want more, then what do you take that as? Like, you can probably trust that, okay, yes, they had fun because they're saying they had fun, and that's something you typically can only really self-report on. But if they say they want more on top of that, is like, well, they wouldn't have fun if they played for another couple hours. And yeah, I don't know. Feedback without reasoning is useless. Well, even watching a playtest, I think one of the difficulties is there are a lot of games where you have fun when you start, and then you're like, oh, that's it? That's the whole game? And you get bored. So during a playtest, you might be like, oh, that person's having fun. They've been playing for 20 minutes. They're enjoying themselves. But then, yeah, when the game is supposed to last for 10 hours and they stop after 2. So I don't know what's going to happen with this. Guild to be the next big thing. In my mind, though, the guild is really just like UI, or rather the removal of UI. It's a place to hire adventurers, level them up, etc. And sure, it probably does that through quests, but in general, it's just moving a button and putting it into the world. So I don't really see it as a brand new system, but it'll probably feel a little bit better. It's fun. Why? I don't like it. Why? Yeah. In the first Skeleseller feedback survey that I sent out, one of the questions was, wait, no, it was just this. Wait, what am I thinking of? That maybe idle ascendants? Hang on a second. I'm trying to find this really fast. Yeah, this. Okay, this question. What improvements would you want to see and why? Almost nobody answered the and why part. And that made it really tough because some people are just like, I want this in the game. And I was wondering, like, what problem did you have, or why do you want it? I think a lot of times when you get game feedback, there's this concept of, well, it would be fun. And that's possible, but I think you can expand on that a little bit more. If you said it's a Friday, yep, I'll launch it right now. Send it straight to you. Okay, so I made this more visible, and then, yeah, like I said, I'd gotten sidetracked. So let's take a look at this again. Yeah, like I said, everything still works, which is nice. Actually, having the close button on the bottom is pretty nice for me. But it should be up the top, I think. What does fun mean to you? That is probably asking a lot of people, though, to analyze why. I think of it like if I said, hey, what are you in the mood to eat? And you said whatever it is, I want to go eat burritos. And then I'm like, why? I think it'd be a little bit tough to be like, I'm just craving that. And I think most people probably couldn't articulate why they find something fun. And if they could, it probably wouldn't be maybe super insightful. But I think at least for why you don't find something fun, maybe that's more revealing. All right, so this is in a margin container, but there are no margins set. So let's set some margins. Then in the top of this, the character selector, I think we need to change this scene altogether. Not even a scene right now. There are placeholder buttons in there, but I think we're going to make this into party members, and the party members can allow hover. Does this have a show highlight on hover? But then we need an on click, and I don't think we have an on click. Oh, no, we do. Look at that. Well, then it sounds like we're going to use this character selector. All that looks good. Problem is, It's not clear this is even a different scene. And usually there's that button on here, but it is a different scene. It's a character selector. How do you go to the scene then? What? Disable? I don't want to disable that. I don't know, clicking it would disable it. Open script. Oh, it just has a script. It's on its own scene. Yeah, of course. Okay. My bad. I know what I'm talking about. I just... Discipline skill too low. Just put some skill points in it. Do you have a question for whether the tester likes this style of game? Yeah, I essentially do. I have a question for what are your favorite genres of game, or what genres do you like to play? Although I will say that from the first form that we had, where is it? Here. Yeah, responses. Yeah, so most people had fun playing the game, and when I asked about, yeah, which other games most closely resemble, it's not that one. The one below that. It's kind of hard to look through this stuff, though, because you have to look through individual responses to kind of correlate all of this. But yeah, which game genres do you like? Actually, 53% of people said they do like idle games. And a lot of people liked role-playing games. There's probably some selection bias here, too. Like, why would you play this game if it looks really, really boring to you? Sports games, 10%. Yeah, interesting. I'm just looking at this for a second longer to think if there's anything else I want to take from this. I don't think so. I am actually interested in this. I feel like we have a very important fork that we need to pick, which is either like more idle time or more systems. Well, I guess there's a middle of the road one, which is like keep everything the same. And I was thinking about this a little bit. What if you just asked at the beginning of the game, like, this is an idle game. How idle do you want to be? And there was something that's like, you know, no idle time, and then maybe some other middle option. I don't know what it would be. And then at the end, it could be like, wait hours between actions. Because games don't typically give you a choice, and I don't want to do this. It's just an interesting idea, which is, yeah, what if you gave people a choice, and then people could say, like, you know what, I just want to play this throughout the workday, so yeah, maybe once every half hour I come back to this. And maybe someone else is like, I want this to be an active game for me. I don't want to just leave it in the background. Exploding currently, creating random gremlins. Too many ideas? Well, implement them all in Godot. Find your discipline. All right, so character selector, freeze everything inside of this. And then we have add adventure somewhere. Hired adventure, here it is. So what if we added in party members instead? Would that be hard to do? Probably not if I coded everything well. Let's go find out. This takes in an adventurer. This has an adventurer. So far, so good. So, let's see. Where do we instantiate one of these? I don't think we ever do instantiate one of these. Party member. Oh, no, there we go. Right there. All right, how do we go to this result now? Yeah, that's good enough. Now we need an on-clicked and an init, so I'll just copy all this. Hey, Froggy. All right, we're going to put this in the character selector. What do we do here? Number of adventurers equals get child count. Why do we do this? So that we know to select a character? Yeah, that's fine. All right, I'm going to paste this in here. Party member. Where is on clicked? It's select character. Yep, which means we need this. We add this here. Anything else? Buttons by class. Okay, that's going to need to change. What do we do there? Highlight skill buttons. Okay, this can't be a button anymore. It's got to be a party member. Oh, which means we need a way of highlighting them without you selecting them. I don't have a way to do that right now. Okay, well, we'll need to do that later. Button by class equals party member. text, name, none of that matters. And select character won't be possible. No, there's no visual for it. That might actually be fine. All right, so now what's the problem here? Party member. And what do we do with this? We set its modulate. I guess we could set its self-modulate. I don't know, whatever. I'm not going to do this. Yeah, and they're not actually buttons. All right, how does this look? Maybe good. Let's go try it out. I'd be pretty impressed if it were just that easy. Although the highlighting thing is probably going to look like garbage because it just tints it all green. So there we go. Now we have the rogue up at the top there. You can select it. Let's add in more adventures. Yeah, so it does look like garbage, but that's okay. We can fix that. And if you click, nice. All right, cool. Wow, that was easy. Yeah, now we have pictures. And if I spent all of these skill points, it wouldn't be green anymore. Yeah, so we just need a way of showing that you have skill points for this. I think a green border would be best. Or maybe just making the name green. What did I do before this? I think I just made the name green because they were just buttons. Kind of want to indicate that a character is selected though too. It'd be nice to not have this selected character thing here. Green up arrow as an overlay of the avatar. It'd be showing on top of the avatar though, right? Out of curiosity, what if we just changed modulate to self-modulate? Does this change the panel? Because that might also be okay. I'm just going for like, what's the most bang for our buck right now? I don't care too much about making this look perfect because we're probably still gonna need to do a pass on this. Adventure skills, okay, debug grant points. It did turn green, but you can't really tell. Yeah, it's like a very subtle change. I don't know if you can even see that. And the reason why is because it's such a dark color to begin with that it's just tinting pretty dark. Okay, I think we need to make special code inside a party member. Maybe we could have something like set name color in here. Yeah, I'll just do that for right now. I think that's fine. Public void set name color. Name label dot self modulate equals color. Then we'll use this over here. So instead of button, we'll do set name color. There we go. And that should do it. We just rename this to party member. Anywhere else we have the word button? Buttons by class. This is party members by class. Wait, does the party member know who's assigned? We have adventurers in here. So do we even need this? We might not need this anymore. This just went through all the ones that we had and checked to see if it matched. Yeah, I don't think we need this. So let's delete that. Buttons by class, delete all this. Was there anything here we did that we did not do here? I guess the name, but I think that's done. Okay, looks good, looks good. Select character. Character select, yeah, that's fine. All right, so now we just need to go through all of the children of this and do something on them. Get children of type party member. Set this to child. All right, there's no concept of, well, I guess we can name this party member. It doesn't really matter what we call it. There is no concept of an adventurer class, right? That exists? Okay, fine. Well. Even easier than I thought. And now we just need link. Yeah, that should work. Get children, nice name. Yeah, this is typical in a lot of really any tree structure. Children and parent. It's always, I don't know. It's always a little funny to talk about. All right, there. So now it highlights a name green. I think I'm okay with that because I think that doesn't look so annoying, right? Yeah, it's pretty easy to tell. Like I said, we're just looking for good enough right now, and this is definitely good enough. This is so much more usable, though. I would like to make it more obvious which character is selected without having a label here. And I think the easiest way to do that would just be draw a rectangle around this. I just don't want to. Yeah, all right, let's do it. We have a highlight rectangle. I guess let's make a selection rectangle. And the selection color, I'm just going to say his color is white. All right, this equals null, which we don't need to do. So I don't know why I did that. So draw, we're going to do the same thing and put false 2, but when hovering over it, it should show above the selection. No, maybe this is 3 pixels as a result of that. So that the highlight one shows above, but there's also a little bit that bleeds through from the selection. Let's just see how that looks. And then where else do we need to do something about this? We need to have like a set highlight rect or something. Hide highlight, show highlight. Yeah, so I think it's just going to be set selected is selected. So it's selected if this has a value. Yeah, this looks pretty good actually. Yeah. Okay. Man. Let's try to, oh, I never called the function, so this isn't going to do anything yet. All right, how do we set that as selected? We get the party member by class. This gets all party members. We could iterate over everything adventurer class here. Yeah, we could do like a private party member, get party member by or from adventurer class. Contains a hash set. So technically the time complexity of this function is better than the one I'm about to make, but I don't really care. So for each adventurer class and classes with skill points. Get party member from adventurer. Oh, this won't work. Yeah, no, we can keep the good time complexity then. We can just write something down here. Is selected equals true, but then the previously selected one now needs to be false. So I guess even this isn't really important, huh? Well. There. Great. All right, I think that'll all work. So the selection is a white rectangle around the border. And the highlight rectangle is like a bluish rectangle. So yeah, it's looks kind of stupid actually, but it's clearly selected right now. And if I have multiple adventurers, yeah, so now I don't need to show which one's selected here, but we do need to tone down that border because it's ridiculous. So we set this to 2 and probably don't make it white. Maybe gray is enough. Gray doesn't really make it seem like it's selected though. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I think that's good. That's a scaling artifact. Yeah, it's a scaling artifact. Okay, pretty good. Now we can delete the selected character thing. Adventurer whose stats and skills you're looking at, yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be obvious enough now from this. Okay, cool. Selected character. What is that called? There's a label in here. Where is the label? Oh, it's not in here. It's in the skill tree. Yeah, there it is. Is this the only reason why we have one of these things? No, we have a whole bunch of stuff happening here. Okay, just delete this. There. And now delete it from the skill tree itself. All right, nice. All right, stats. How do we want to lay this out? I feel like we don't need to write stats. We could just say level and then the stats beneath it. So maybe just delete this. And the stats container should probably just have more separation here. Yeah, it's good enough. I don't know. Then I think we should add in a separator. H separator, separating other controls. Is this the kind that I want? I don't know. How do we like bump this up one? Move up, move down? No, that's not what I want. I want to move it like back. But the way to do that is to find the parent it belongs to and then make it a sibling in there. Oh my God, this is so hard to do. All right, does that look better or worse? I don't know. I don't really care. All right, skill points, same thing here. Let's add some more separation. This is only a debug button anyway, so you won't ever see it in the game. That's fine. Skills label. Why is that not showing up right now? What? Why are you invisible? Clip contents is set to true. Why does it have a height of 0? This is very bizarre. What are you? A rich text label. Fit content? Oh, well, there we go. That looks better. Is this the one that says it acts more like a label when you do this? Yeah. All right, so how's that look? Yeah, I mean, I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. You know, I find myself wanting more space under skills. So right under here, I guess we want to add in another H separator. Put this down here. And then just make this invisible? No, you can't make it invisible. You just make it not show up. Which is sort of invisible there. Now we increase the separation value. All right. So now that the dialogue is a little bit larger, I feel like that separation is important so that you can actually see the skill name there. And then the last thing we need to do is space these out a little bit. 10. Okay. I think that looks better than it used to. Well, now the space looks unintentional. Change of plans. delete you and make you larger. There, that should automatically take effect. Yeah, nice. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Something like a field set box in HTML for the skills. So it has a box around all the skills to group them. I probably could. I don't see this as being the final iteration of this UI though. And I don't want to spend too much time. Like, I think this looks better than it used to. At least now you can tell which character is which. Oh, also, this is going to do another little thing for the game, which is when you see Rogue here and you see the picture for them, you're not going to think that it's the skeleton or one of these customers. Excuse me. This was some confusion that my friend had when I showed him the game. Where did I write that? No. All right, I should write this down as self-feedback. Some of the skills are not balanced. Yeah. All right. Yeah, looking good. Let's go check that in. There are no errors, right? Yeah, no errors. Pretty good. So we use the same background for everything. Yeah, changed a lot of the skill tree. That's fine. I'm not going to look through all of this. I don't think it's really worth looking at the scenes too much because if they look fine in the game, then that's good enough for now. It's the code I usually take a look at. Yeah, a lot of skill tree stuff changed. For the better, I will say. Yeah. At the very least, you can see this is almost exactly the same number of lines of code, but each line got rid of a bunch of characters on it by using that unique name thing. Yeah, I don't know what's causing that flickering. So now we have a selection concept in here. That's also good. I wonder if we should be using this somewhere else. I don't think so. It starts off as null, so everything should be good there too. Yeah, party button. Oh yeah, did I rename button everywhere? The word button shouldn't show up in here, right? Highlight skill buttons. Okay, no, I guess there are buttons on this UI. Yeah, and then get button name. Is that used anywhere? Apparently not, if I didn't just find it, yeah. Delete that. Okay, so improve UI. This mostly had to do with the skill tree, which now shows party members instead of buttons with their class names on them. I also made a common panel background and removed some, I guess technically the town thing is its own change entirely. Yeah, that I'll check in separately. But the common panel background is part of the skill tree. So I guess I should just say improve skill tree UI. It now shows party members instead of buttons. It's messed up the wrapping though, right? Yeah, it did. Also made a common panel background. Okay. Now I want to check in everything other than town. Commit. And then we say remove blank space from town menu. Good. All right. So this can be marked closed. Hooray. Hey, Calamaro. This game is not open source, just to be clear. So those are just my GitHubs, but you won't find the game code there. All right, what next for checkpoint number 2? Look through checkpoint number 1 feedback, see what's still relevant. I think just 2 things. No, 3 things here. Yeah. This message should just be deleted. Yeah, let's go delete it. I apparently have way too many tabs open. There we go. All right, what does it say? Lost? Ah, here it is. Yeah, items lost because of stored removable. I'll show what this is in the game. and why I don't think this is needed anymore. 30A repos in here. Oh no, across what, the two of them? Oh yeah, but some of these are forked. I guess if you go to repositories and search for what, sources, yeah. But this, there are actually more repos here, but they're just private, and even I can't see them because I'm not logged in as this user right now. But yeah, a lot of the botland stuff is here. Yeah, version 0.2. So like I said, you won't find the code, but it'll just be freely available on Friday. Not the code, the game. So if you want to play this, you can check it out then. This label that I was talking about, by the way, so your storeroom can only hold 2 items right now. So if I click grant items, it spawned a whole bunch of labels saying how many items it couldn't fit. This is a debug function, which is why it spawned a ton of those. But if I were to just do this and then go into a battle and click win, it'll spawn just 1 there. So it says 3 items were lost because the storeroom was full. The reason this isn't necessary anymore is because the items show X's over them. So I'm hoping this is clear enough now, and I'm just going to remove that other label completely. Yeah, we don't need this. Yeah, just delete it. Cool. Remove, what did that message say? Items lost. Message. Now that the end battle screen shows you which items you didn't have space for, I don't think we need a label floating in the world to tell you the same information. Yeah. That's no storeroom, that's a marketplace. Yeah, I gotta make the customers not walk in there. Most of my code is too messy. I don't think you should worry about that when it comes to putting something online. And I think for a couple of reasons. For one, it's just another barrier. So if you do want it online, you're going to think, well, now I need to clean up my code. 2 is that probably no one is going to look anyway. Like I happen to stream, right? But if I didn't stream, no one would probably have ever found this GitHub. So no one would ever look at any of that and then say that the code is messy. And the third reason is maybe your code's not actually that messy. Although if it is, then I guess the fourth reason is maybe people could help you fix it. Well, if they're not going to contribute to the repo, they probably won't just stumble on it. Have you seen those 17 stars on Jump Royale? Is it really 17 stars? That's pretty funny. Yeah. I don't really focus on GitHub at all or spreading it around. All right, so this is done. Pressel said they expected to be able to click the whole shop to select the shopkeep's menu. Dark said something about this. What did Dark say? Ah, here it is. It's a lot of cruft at the beginning of that. Hey, Syntonic, are you going to write the music for Skeleseller? Yeah, I think we're going to start on Monday. I have been making some melodies, and I really like the melodies, but it's very hard for me to know, does this fit in the game? Also, I don't think the melodies are the hard part. I think the hard part's going to be instrumentation. Well, good thing my code reviews come with a hamburger than Broken Crown. So yeah, this is the next thing we need to do. Make the shopkeep's area bigger. This is super easy to do. Shopkeep has an area. We expand the area. The only problem is we know how big it should be, and it's compared to the shop. Apparently the shopkeep doesn't show in the shop by default, but let's do this. Instantiate a shopkeep in here, and then just position them in the right spot. And then set your Z index to super, super high. And then we just go over to here and increase the size of this. There. How's that look? Oh, that was actually pretty good. I just eyeballed it. Okay, well, that's it. We're done. I guess every once in a while. What ID is that? That's Godot. Or this is. Maybe that's not what you're talking about, though. Maybe you're talking about VS Code. But they're the two things that I'm using. Okay, now let's go try it out in the game. So it should be that you can click anything other than the tiny piece of the roof. I don't think people are going to expect to be able to click the roof. Although maybe they will. But if you click this, yeah, it'll pop up a dialog. Yeah. You just can't click too high up. This might be problematic, actually, now that I think about it. Because you might just be trying to drag the camera and you end up dragging over an NPC. Be nice if we could differentiate between clicks and drags. I guess we'd want this to happen on mouse up. Can we do that? Shop, keep. Oh, it's not even a thing? It's GUI input, I guess? Where do we handle clicking them? Oh, this is shop. Oh my God. This happens so many times where I type shop keep, but it doesn't update this fast enough. So I end up going to the first result. Input, here it is. Pressed. So I don't want it to be pressed. I want it to be released. If not pressed. And that should just fix it. Now let's try that. I'd move it up a bit. You can click on the floor. But I did it perfectly the first time, Dark. You're taking that satisfaction from me. Now I'm mad. All right, so now if you drag, it doesn't do anything. But if you click, nice. Nice. That's a really nice usability thing too. Neat. Hey, Syntonic, want to see lightning bolts? Check this out. There's a fireball, but then bazap, a bunch of lightning bolts. Are the gray areas becoming buildings? This is your storeroom. It's intended to be a building, but it needs to have this cutaway view so that you can always see into it. So I'm not actually totally sure how we'll want to change this in the future. But then this is just like a shop, a marketplace. So this just happens to have stone around it, but this isn't going to turn into like an enclosure. Picture like a farmer's market where you got a bunch of different stalls. It just so happens that the stalls are far enough apart from one another. Yeah, actually, the animation editor is super powerful. So I made the zap scene. And you can see, how do I do this? I guess I just need to zoom in a lot. What? Huh, that's weird. This doesn't even play correctly now. Oh, I see. There we go. Yeah, so can you advance by frame? If you can, I don't know how to do it. But yeah, all we did is we took the sprite, because all we have is a one sprite, and over the course of, I guess, 2 frames, animate it striking, and then wait a little bit, and then animate it fading out, and then wait a little bit longer, and then immediately free it. And you can do all this right from this animation player, which is pretty nice. We need to make a couple more changes to this. Darkstorm suggested that rather than having like 10 lightning bolts strike at once, we should probably delay them. But in order to do that, we've got to change some code too, so I'm not going to do that just yet. Perhaps showing the front facade on the lowermost side. That could potentially work. I don't know if it'll be confusing though, because it might look a little bit like the building just wasn't constructed. I've seen games do cutaways sometimes, but in this case, it's like you always want to be able to see into this. So we just should pretty much never render the ceiling or anything. I know you're not saying render the ceiling, but even with one wall, it might look a little confusing. Anyway, I'm not super concerned right now. If the game ended up releasing with it looking like this, it wouldn't be too bad, but we can probably still make some changes then. How's the pop-up message location determined? Like, can you hire a mage again, zoom in, and doing... Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's temporary. If I repeat battle and click win, yeah, this whole battle 1 thing, yeah, that these pop up over here. They're not affected by Zoom, and you can't even really read them. Yeah, we need a proper notification system. Meanwhile, I'm trying to send her some divs. Oh, I know. I know that pain. I know that pain very well. They say that if you've done really bad things and someone wants to torture you, they just put you in front of a computer and say, make this web page look nice. I was going to go somewhere else with that and decided that's a little too dark. Isometric and remove the roof if someone enters. No, but you still need to see it if there are items in there. Like, you should know how many items you have so that if you want to go to a battle or you want to see, I don't know, maybe the items have different uses in the future. Probably move to a notification box. Yeah, I'm not sure either. What I was thinking is just if you search for, what do we search for here in PMS.io? Notification. Is this it? Invalid upstream response. Yeah, something like this. This is kind of what I was picturing. This is in the web world, of course. But yeah, imagine something popping in saying like, hire the mage, and it just immediately, it times out after some amount of time and just goes away. I think this would be pretty easy to do. And then it's just a matter of doing it, of course. If I don't already have this written down as a thing we need to do, then I probably need to write it down. Notification. In fact, this could be worth fixing. For checkpoint number 2, it'd be nice. Maybe it's worth it, maybe it's not. Maybe I'll just write this in the Thursday thing. If there's time, code a notification component like this. There. You have to write CSS to make your bet. There are a lot of CSS games out there, right? Where the whole point is learn how to write CSS. But yeah, what if you made an entire game around it? The final boss is center this div. You've only got 10 hours to do it and just no one can beat it. There's a problem here in that it's I keep forgetting what I was doing. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I made the shopkeep thing. Right, it wasn't written down as a task. Oh no, it was written down as a task. It just happens to be here. Yeah, close all the other tabs then. All right, so expect to be able to click the whole shop. It's not technically the whole shop, but I feel like it's pretty good. Now you can click over here and it should still open. Yeah, and in the back a little bit, and the NPC, and you can also drag by them. Okay, cool. I am happy with that. This is concerning. This anchor's preset changed. I'm going to just revert that. I don't think that matters. The rest of this looks pretty good. Yeah. Make shopkeeps more clickable. Dumb commit message. All right, 1 is expand their clickable area, and 2 was only process the click on mouse up, not down. This way it doesn't get in the way of panning the camera. Blop. There we go. All right, looks like an enjoyable game. I think it's good right now. And I think, honestly, in the last maybe week or two, the game has made leaps and bounds in terms of usability. I don't feel like we've added a lot of systems in that time. Well, I guess we did. What did we do like 4 weeks ago? What was I working on? Because we launched checkpoint number 1 on the 17th. Yeah, launched first checkpoint of Skeleseller. And then worked on projectiles effect. First day back after vacation. Turn adventurers into workers. Pathfinding. Oh my god, that took forever. Started working on summoning. Okay, summoning is in the game, but nothing uses it. So that was a day of code. Oh, that actually took more longer than a day probably. So pathfinding, summoning, made the cleric, save system. Yep, I forgot about that too. Instance and party choosers, and that was exactly 2 weeks ago. Wow, yeah. I really, really, really want to make a video comparing checkpoint 1 and checkpoint 2 and just being like, this is what a month and a half of development will do. Hey, Caleb, hopping in very quickly. All right, well, I hope you have a good D&D session and that you only roll 20s. Or if you're a DM, that your players only roll 1s. I actually don't know which is more fun as a DM, if your players suck or if they're great. Probably that they're great. All right, there's one more change we've got to make here. Maximize the Godot window, and then there's no way to exit, had to end the task. Okay, so what if we just put a escape exit game? Yeah, that should be dead simple. Let's go do that. I certainly like dead simple. Close button. This shouldn't be called a close button anymore. It should be like back to game button. Back to game. Or well, maybe close menu button. Yeah. All right. Close button is all over the place, right? But it's the in-game menu that we want. So this is going to be called close menu button, still with an underscore. And then we change this line to be close menu. Okay, then we need a close game button. Exit to desktop. Is that what games do nowadays? Quit game, maybe? I don't know what I prefer. I'll just call this a quit game button, though. Pretty laid back approach to playing. Play with some people who love to inspect every object in intricate detail. Go ahead and push the button or open the chest, even if it's obviously a trap. Yeah, that was some of my experience playing D&D. I found it to be very frustrating. I think the other thing is that at one point I was timing how long it took for me to get a turn in battle. It's not like, oh, we're just wandering around or something. It was like, it's in battle. Let's, kill the enemies we're fighting. And it would be like 10 minutes or something. Turns shouldn't take that long. It's just a challenge. We didn't play frequently enough for people to know what all their skills did and kind of have a feel for their characters. But I don't plan on playing D&D again. Quit game button. I call this quit menu. Now the question is, how do you quit the game? Quit game. Handling quit requests. Get tree.quit. That's a close request though? Sending your own notification? Doing so will not send this to the nodes in the scene tree. Quitting by calling scenetree.quit will not allow custom actions to complete. Instead, if you want to notify the nodes about the upcoming program termination, you should send the following yourself. Well, let's just do that then. Quit game. Private void quit game. Okay, so this C sharp-eyed looks like this. Notification WM close request. I don't know what this is supposed to be, so let's look at this. Into what? That's exactly my reaction. Into what? Where do you get the notifications from? I think we used a notification somewhere else. Where is it? It's notification pre-delete, so it's just prefaced with notification. And what do we want? We want WM close request. Notification WM close request. Yeah, there. Easy peasy, except I put that in the wrong location. There we go. Argument 1 cannot convert from long to int. Well, how dare you? Notification, what's the other one we got? Pre-delete? That was an int. Why is this not an int? How could it even be a long if it's all part of the same? Why did they make these longs? They're not even large numbers. Also, why was the other notification not a long then? Where did that... This is a long. But for whatever reason, it doesn't complain about this one. Oh, because the function I'm calling takes in an int. Okay, fine. Let's just convert it. Doesn't matter. That number's never going to change. New JS framework. All right. I think that should work. Let's go try it out. I haven't taken a single break. I should probably just go take a lunch break soon. Quick game. That might have worked. Although I don't think so. But I was going to say there's a bug when you quit the game right now. It doesn't. I guess we need to capture this and then quit. Do this on any node. Okay, let's do this on the, I don't know, the town node. We need a notification thing here. Okie dokie. Let's go get that. We don't have a notification thing here, do we? No, we could make a special node for this. In fact, these are things I eventually want to do, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. All right, so what equals notification, WM, whatever it's called. What is it called? Oh, come on. Close request? I forgot already. Yeah, close request. So it's close request, then call getTree.quit. GetTree.quit. Okay. Delete my errant comma, and then let's go try that again. How can I play it now? You mean right now? You can't play it right now. I deleted the builds from itch. Or maybe not deleted. What happened here? How did this break? Oh, I meant to put equals, not equals. Yeah. Does that work? I think it might have. It's really hard to say. Because like I said, the game crashes when you try to quit it right now, thanks to some style boxes thing. Can I download it from Git and run it? No, it's not on GitHub. How are we going to run it? It's an app. So you'll download it on Friday. This is unfortunate. It just halts. But I assume it's because of the problem that I mentioned earlier. We keep track of style boxes in the code, and this is a known issue in Godot, and it's actually been known for a while. And I use this here, and man, I don't want to do anything about this. You check if it works in the editor. It might be an export only thing. It would probably work if I didn't have that bug on quitting. Hang on, I'll be right back. Is it jump time? It's jump time. I'm gonna take a quick break. I just want to use the bathroom. Hey again, everybody. Close the game. I saw a message from Circuit Crusher as I scrolled up saying what's happening right now. That's a game that's played automatically on breaks here. So you can join through Twitch chat. You can jump. I should be taking breaks more frequently than I am. I am just not. Okay, so how would we test this for real? I think we'd need to get rid of this stuff. I don't think I care to do that. Yeah, I don't think I care to do that. But then if quitting the game doesn't work even in the exported build, which I can't export, unfortunately, then you'll have no way of closing it. I don't think there's much I can do about this. Yeah. I'll show the error I'm talking about here. Something about style box. Where is it? Where is it? What? Huh. Oh, maybe it was... I don't remember where it is. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Well, anyway, there's a bug somewhere, and yeah, it's a known issue in Godot. All right, well, I think we fixed everything then. This is add a way to quit the game. Quit game button, quit game button. Yep. Cool, yeah. Add quit game to the game menu. People mentioned during checkpoint number 1 that if the game was maximized, there was no way to close it. Yeah. Just don't let people quit. Wow, the playtime on this game is through the roof. People must love it. Okay, I think this is all done. I'm gonna sync this. Fixed all of these issues. Okay, so here's what I had officially for checkpoint number 2. Fix the index, rename, test saving and loading. All right, I mean, all these are pretty straightforward. Release, hype up a date. Check. Set up a new feedback form. Check. Upload builds to itch. We haven't done that yet. Do more user research. I've done that already. Go through the questions again after releasing. Push all these. Yep. Okay. We still got to do that. What else is here? A whole bunch of like update stuff. Yeah. Man, I love seeing my plans from a while ago come to fruition. All right, well, both of these are the same task, right? Yeah. So I think here's what we're going to do. We're going to say that this afternoon, lump this issue into this issue, and then tackle the open issue. Fix z-index. Yeah, finish doing the rest of these. Set up HIO page again. That's part of this already. It says upload builds. It's technically not part of this. Update the itch.io page. Put a new screenshot up. Maybe even record a quick video of the game. I can just do that while I'm streaming. Randomize the position of the quit button. Make it slowly move away from the mouse. Then quicker. Then it's gone. Release builds probably have the game only run in full screen. Yeah, we need to figure that out. That's also pretty good. That's good. This is done. Okay. Pretty nice. Yeah, pretty nice. file all this Tuesday stuff. This is from yesterday, right? Yeah. Stuff from this. This is finished. Word, quest unlocks, auto battling. Angle, tooltips. Yeah, more nudges. Definitely more nudges. The -1 I used. Okay, well, let's copy all of this stuff into a different part of the list. The backlog grows. Put this farther down. Hitting close minimizes the game. A lot of applications do that, though. I find that to be frustrating because I know when I want to close something, but I get why applications do it because they need something to run in the background and then they have a UI for that thing running in the background. And to me, close means kill it all. But to most users, it means like, no, I still want that thing in the background. At least you can customize it. I don't need to go to like Task Manager every time to close certain games. Well, if we look at the changes that were made this morning, I'm happy, and yet I feel like there wasn't a whole lot. Yeah, this is the only stuff we worked on today. Change the font, improve the UI of this, remove some blank space, removed a message. Yeah, it was all pretty simple stuff. It's gonna help though. All right, might as well just do this now. Whatever. Isn't that hard to do? Wow, I can't select the text. It's like this easy thing turned into a hard thing. All right, go through questions here after releasing, push all of this. So this is post-launch stuff. Close out the checkpoint. I guess that's already written there. Go through questions. Close out the checkpoint. Push any other tasks to checkpoint number 3. All right, good, cool. I'm closing this, but I'm keeping, what is it, 180 around, which is the real task. That was supposed to be closed with comment. How do I? There. Yeah. All right, so we have, what, 4 things? Yeah. And what are these? Can I play it before then? What will change between the current playable build and the final launch? Maybe add a section somewhere of what has changed since the last build. Maybe add a section somewhere, maybe on itch, about what's changed since the last version. I may at least want to know that for myself. Kind of want to make a video on this. Yeah. Ooh. Well, it's been a ton of work. For those who didn't hear, next week is going to be a cool down. It's going to be music creation. And I should warn you all, I'm not amazing at it. So it's probably going to be a sucky set of streams, but I need to work on the music and hopefully we can figure something out. And then what's going to happen after that? Then I don't know, dev will resume after another week or 2, maybe. Something like that. And oh yeah, and catch up stuff. So like non-Skeleseller tasks in my personal time. Whereas a lot of my personal time has been spent doing Skeleseller stuff. Player quits the game without saving. Will you provide an "Are you sure?" Or last save was X minutes ago. Eventually there's just going to be an autosave system, so I don't even really think we need that. But yeah, we could do something like that. Or maybe autosave right before you quit. I could write that in the autosave issue. Consider taking an autosave right before quitting. It sends out a WM notification that we can act on. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go get lunch. I'll be back in about an hour, and then we'll just keep working, toward checkpoint number 2. Remember, the game launches on Friday. It'll be free. So please do tune in on Friday. It'll be a celebration. I don't know what we're doing. And you can all play and provide feedback. So hopefully see you all after lunch. Hope you have a good rest of your day. And I had a good time. Take care. See ya.